Anyway, so down in the bottom right position, spawning on Belshire, we have none other than the green Protoss player. It's Grubby. And his opponent, spawning up in the top left, the blue Protoss from Team Liquid, none other than Hero. So, Belshire, game number 1, pretty funky. Both players going a bit more macro-orientated, getting some gates up, getting their expansions up. It was a 2-base v2 base game, and oh my goodness, there's a pylon coming down here for Hero. He's going for a 2-gate. Everyone in chat saying this is going to be a long macro game. Herb Maddles, enjoy solo casting. That is certainly not going to be the case. It's going to be 2-gate. Proxy 2-gate. Grubby doesn't know anything yet. Maybe he suspects. Maybe his star sense is starting to tingle. And his brain is going, what could be happening? If Grubby holds this, he will win. He will finish top of his group. That means that he gets the better seeding and positioning in group stage number 3. That is what these two are playing for. I think they both advance guaranteed now. So it's just who advances first. The probe moving back. Only one gateway. Not a proxy 2-gate, proxy 1-gate. And this is where fun things are happening. Grubby checking around his base, saying, okay, is there anything here? The probe coming down, it's going to check. The probe is going to... Did the probe see? Did the probe see? The probe does definitely now see, knows what's coming down, and Grubby should be in a brilliant spot to be able to defend this now. He sees it, he knows what is coming, and Grubby can now prepare for this perfectly. He's already got that gateway coming down. All he needs to do now is make sure that he's in a nice defense position, gets the second pylon up, his gas income is going to be a bit better, really everything going so nicely for Grubby. He sees the chrono boost on the Zealot coming down, and Grubby shouldn't have too much problems defending this because that gateway is far enough away. The Grubby's gateway will finish in time, and with a chrono boost, the Zealot, defensive Zealot, will be out before the offensive Zealot reaches over. And because it's 1-gate v 1-gate, it's going to be exactly equal. Hero, I don't think, can win this now. Shy of some absolutely imbalanced, miraculous, absolutely go-to micro, is in such a tough spot. Getting a proxy 1-gate scouted is going to be so difficult. Now, it's not all over for Hero, though. That's the thing. He can still make this work. It is just going to be a fairly interesting situation. Grubby's cybernetic score does get finished sooner. Has Grubby scouted out that this is coming? No, he hasn't. He doesn't know what is going to be occurring here, and therefore can't necessarily know for sure. He does get a quick little peek, knows that the Zealots are there, running back the second, his own Zealot, but it's now 2 versus 2. Once again, the first hit goes off for Hero. This is very, very nerve-wracking. And of course, these two players have to be ridiculously focused. A couple of extra hits coming down here for Grubby, meaning that... sorry, for Hero, meaning Hero's coming off slightly better here, but there are defensive probes as well. They can come and just join the fight, trying to take a little bit of damage, try and deal that extra little tip, which may tip the fight in his advantage, but both players trying to get their stalkers out. And this is where things start getting ridiculously tense. The damage Zealot is about to get taken down. It's very close. Small advantage here for Hero, but just by a fraction. He does now level it out. Of course, the Zealot for Hero, his second Zealot, is a bit lower than Grubby's. This is ridiculously close. The probe's getting pulled. Gonna try and go for this round. Grubby knows that if he clears this out, he will get a monumental advantage, but he loses a bit of mining time in doing so. Back at home, Hero has got an additional gateway. Grubby, though, getting 2 additional gateways. This is still too close to call. Everything is getting fairly crazy at the moment. Neither player have an expansion. Grubby getting a proxy pylon down to the other side of the map. His warp gate tech fractionally further ahead, and that does make a difference. Grubby 2 stalkers against 1, though. Needs to be very careful. Doesn't want to lose any units unless he absolutely has to. That is the main thing. Can he pick off this pylon and say no to any more production here? Not only will it prevent additional production, and also mean back at home, Hero has 1 less warp gate to call upon. He's making 2 more, still will be up to those 3 gates. Grubby, though, is ahead in terms of the production. His warp gate tech is about to kick in. He's going to have a brief moment where he can probably squeeze 1 more additional warp gate, but the proxy pylon has been seen by Hero, will now get taken out, and that means that things start to look a little bit more level. There can't be an instant counterattack, but Grubby has made another proxy pylon just down outside the natural base ramp, and that could make all the difference. The warp-ins can start coming down. The warp gates for Grubby. Grubby has 2 gates. Where are the additional gateways? Now they're warping in. 3 gates up against 4. Grubby going to be trying to go for this double pylon on the high ground. Will it be enough? Is this going to work? Grubby moving up the ground now. Going to get a couple of shots off on these stalkers slightly sooner. Good force field, though, and 2 of those stalkers trapped for Grubby now. That is not too good for him because he loses 2 units for absolutely nothing. Hero losing under half the resources of Grubby at the moment. This is so tense. Everything to play for. The first position in this group at stake, and that means the better seed in group stage 3 where things start getting ridiculously heated up. Stalkers for Grubby pulling back. That Zealot probably going to die. Both players really going for this. The Stalker count is very similar, but there's a sentry and 2 zealots for Hero, making him slightly ahead in terms of the overall army supply. But more warpings coming down for Grubby. This is still so close. It's all coming down to the micro. What is going to get prioritized? Who can get the first Stalker kill? That makes a big difference. It was pretty much simultaneous. Grubby trying to micro back his damaged Stalker, but it does get taken out. Far too many gateway units there for Hero at the moment. Grubby's still very close. Remember, of course, in terms of production, there are 3 gateways for Hero, plus a single gateway that's not warped into a warp gate yet. Meanwhile, for Grubby, there are the 3. Hero going up towards that Dark Shrine, and that is where things will get very, very fun. So, in come a couple more units. Hero trying to move out, trying to get a quick little scout. Grubby has retreated back, as confirmed by the fact that the proxy gateway is now getting killed. Grubby has the robotics facility though. That is what is so ridiculously important, because by getting that robotics facility and that observer out, suddenly that Dark Shrine will be completely ineffective. This game really close on what should have been, what really could have been a very short proxy 1 game where it goes either way, is now transitioning out of that into something a bit more funky. The army supply, crazy close, crazy close, incredibly similar. There's only one difference in terms of the army supply. Hero 3 probes ahead though. I think the biggest thing was the fact that when Grubby moved up the ramp and got force field, he lost those, I believe it was 2 stalkers, maybe a zealot as well, for nothing, and that really hurt him. He's 800 more resources down than that of Hero, but Hero's got to be careful moving up the ramp, or the same thing will happen. The zealot gets taken, and hey, a zealot for a force field, that's a trade that you will happily take any single day. The Dark Shrine is now done. The first DT warping in. Where are the observers? That is what is absolutely critical. The observers are, well, one of them going across the map. The second one though is about to pop. Was it cancelled? Oh my god, it was cancelled! This is disastrous now for Grubby. He's only got the 1 observer and it's miles away, and he's got no way to deal with this DT. He did cancel the observer in order to get down the War Prism. Is that going to cost the game for Grubby? He chucks down some force fields trying to save those sentries. Hero, just with 1 DT, is now going to force his way back. He got that sentry, but not all is lost. There is still more time. Everything getting so close. Grubby just 1 army supply down, but it is the worker supply. He's down by 5. Grubby running down the ramp, using that immortal for maximum damage. The force fields are damn good, and that means straight away these stalkers taking a lot of damage. The DT trying to pick off the immortal, won't quite get it, but the stalker does. Steve, the hero stalker, able to do it really quick. Grubby going to try and take the expansion. In terms of resources lost, I believe it currently stands that actually it's fairly similar. Overall, yeah, 2,975 resources lost by Grubby to 2,350. Very equal. And once you get equal resources lost, it gets pretty scary. Grubby, though, with the later expansion, it's already done for Hero. That means Hero's economy absolutely skyrocketing. But Grubby, a long way ahead, or, well, 3 army supply ahead, which is a fairly big percentage, if you think of it that way. Quick little pick up of the damage sentry, trying to keep it alive. Great pick up and drop micro there by Grubby, saving that sentry with, like, well, it has 1 HP. So that was very good control. If he kept that immortal up, though, earlier, it would have made such a difference for Grubby, who is bringing a couple of probes down, ready to get to his natural. Things getting absolutely crazy. And is Grubby going to be able to make something work here? Is Hero going to be able to continue pushing forward at this advantage? The War Prism making its way across the map. Grubby needs to deal some damage. He's quite a long way behind in terms of the worker count. He's sitting only at 31 to the 39 probes of Hero, but he's slightly up in the army supply. Things close, things crazy. Grubby trying to get down the forge, get down more immortals. With the War Prism making its way up into the main, this could be a big play. Where are the units to defend this? Well, they're trying to come up now, only just making their way through. Quick little warp in of a few more units. Where is the War Prism? It's backing out, sees the quick reaction, the units pull back. This is getting fairly substantial. Not enough damage done there. I don't think any damage done there. Grubby has yet to kill a single worker of his opponent, but he's taking a risk. He's securing up that 3rd base. This is the sort of thing that is going to leave you in either a miraculously amazing position or a terrible one. It's a commitment. It's an investment. This is where it's the sort of thing where you think, oh, I've got a bit of extra money in my bank account, I'm going to put that in some shares, and then the day after your boiler breaks and you're just like, crap, I need that money. That is what Grubby's done right now. If his boiler doesn't break, he's going to be fantastic down the line. He's going to have a nice little investment, bringing him in dividends in week after week, year after year. But if Hero starts pushing soon, Grubby will not have enough stuff down on the ground, and that's going to cause him some problems. He needs some stuff now. if we see Hero move out, and he is starting to move across the map. We've got Grubby, though, desperately trying to get down this Twilight Council. Blink, though, hugely ahead, though, for Hero at the moment, and that's giving a lot better micro potential, and a lot better cost efficiency if Hero uses it well. He's also got an immortal count equal to that of Grubby. Things very, very close. Grubby, though, has got +1 nearly done. That's a small upgrade. Great force fields by Grubby. He's going to catch one of those immortals. That's massive. He manages to get it absolutely in the force fields there. That is so crazy good. I can't believe he managed to do that. We've also got a hallucinated War Prism coming in here for Grubby, trying to add a moment of fear in, but it's not being successful. Stalker's just coming back. Actually, it is being successful. Stalker's getting pulled all the way back to be careful. That says to Grubby, hey, there's a lot of stuff back there. I need to be a very, very careful situation because, hey, he's dropped me before. If he gets a big drop-off, that could be absolutely massive. Now, this is crazy. Grubby has his 3rd Nexus up. If he's able to start mining out of that, he will get himself into an okay spot. He's, in terms of income, only slightly down, 3 workers down, but a long way behind in army supply. He's got to be so careful, but a lot of the Stalkers, remember, are out of position. That's why Grubby's going for this. He thinks he's got a superior number of units just out to win this fight, and winning the fight is all that he needs to do. As long as he doesn't overcommit, that's the main important thing. Stalkers blinking forward, though, are going to be able to pick off these sentries. The Immortals dealing good damage, though, but Hero now making his way forward. Grubby is in a lot of problems. Needs to make sure that he's very cautious here. Grubby getting the first few high Templar out. 4 additional gateways are on the way. +1 weapons is done for Grubby, though. Upgrade lead, tiny as it may be, can make a difference if that army supply tab can start leveling out. It's currently 29 for Grubby, just 60 of Hero, and that's the problem for Grubby. He needs to make that a lot more similar. Blink up onto the high ground with just 4 Stalkers. This is a problem for Grubby now because he can't defend his main and his natural simultaneously with so few units. The Potent Overcharge being used in the main, and that is going to be a massive problem for Grubby because now he can't defend that natural as easily. We've got a lot of units in the center. Grubby with a single Zealot there is going to get it taken out. He can't afford to be losing these units. The resources lost a lot more equal than it was earlier. As we can see, 4,850 to 4,825. But look at the standing army. 72 to Hero, 43 to Grubby. And that 3rd Nexus looking to be a very large vulnerability. Probably going to get taken down here. If Grubby can hold this, it would be an absolute miracle. It is definitely going to fall now. And this is what I was saying. Grubby caught with all of his money tied up. And now has less stuff on the field. Losing a couple more workers as well. Grubby's income, though, still not looking terrible as of yet. The upgrades have leveled out, though. +2 nearly done for Grubby. He needs to keep chrono boosting that, making sure it gets out. He's still holding on at the moment. Grubby doing his utmost, but Hero, if he plays it cool and trades relatively evenly now, he will be in an okay position, and that's the important thing. He's got to make sure things stay a little more close. This 3rd Nexus coming down is important. Now remember, Grubby's 3rd was down for a long period of time, but it wasn't really mining much, and that caused a problem for Mr. Grubby, because if it was mining, he could have got a lot more money out of it. Hero getting ready to blink up into the main base. That's an important thing for him. Behind the mineral line of the natural as well. He's got some units, but they have been stopped now. The blink waiting, ready to move up if Grubby moves out. Grubby taking a 3rd over to the right there. Bold move. Hasn't been seen yet, but these Stalkers could get themselves trapped a little bit. Gotta be careful where they're going to blink to. Unfortunately, Grubby pushing them straight towards where he's taking the Nexus, revealing that it's there. Hero going to try and get a couple of free part shots off and does manage to do it. Not able to knock it out, but just a little bit of damage there is going to be better than absolutely nothing. Hero walking into DT to deal with the Zealot. The Archon for Grubby moving in, and that Archon shot further than any Archon has shot before with that blink and the animation going off, but +2 now done for Grubby. He's got a few seconds where he's got an advantage there. He's also got +3 on its way. Blink, though, has still not been researched for Grubby yet, but is there for Hero, as well as the first Colossi coming out. And we all know that lasers win you in PvP games. Lasers are pretty OP, but Grubby, with that 3rd coming up, he's starting to try and level things out. He's down still in the worker count. He's down in the army supply. And the overall supply, he's down by 25. Not huge, not an unsurmountable amount where he can't come back and make this game win. He's got a lot of power units. His Archon count is double that of his opponent. His Immortal count, double that of his opponent. But he's lacking the 3 Colossi that are currently sitting on Hero's side. Those Colossi could deal a lot of damage. They could do something absolutely spectacular. It just all comes down to the positioning and everything. Thermal Lance, extended Thermal Lance rather, is about to kick in here for Hero, and that's what may trigger a push. +3 on its way out for Grubby. +3 also now just getting started for Hero, but it's going to be close. Can Grubby get that +3 out in time before the engagement comes? It's going to be very close, but I don't think he can, because Hero positioning himself ready to try and retake out that 3rd. Moving up the ramp now, the Archons with a good concave. Zealots from the back going to try and engage. A blink back into it. Grubby with the fantastic flank. time warping a lot of these units. Grubby is going for the most amazing engagement I have seen in a long time. Able to knock out 2 of those Colossi. He is in such a good position now. Grubby, if he keeps pushing forward, that is exactly what he needed to do. He's leveled out the army supply, and that is absolutely massive because he's moving forward. +3 is getting so close to being done. The Colossi, which was so important, are now down to only a single one of them. This is intense. Grubby with his 3rd backup. His worker count is still slightly down, but +3 is ahead by quite the margin. He should have +3 down with about, well, roughly about 80 seconds advantage. Probably 60 seconds if Hero keeps chrono boosting well. But Grubby now looking to be fighting his way back into this. This is ridiculously crazy. He looked to be in such a dangerous position. And well, Grubby moving forward. He's going to try and get himself a win now. That flank may have put him in a commanding spot in this game. Hero knows he's got to be careful. He's back on the defensive. He's trying to make sure that he can defend both his natural and his third because he just doesn't know which way Grubby could go in. If Grubby even decides to move forward at all, +3 weapons is done for Grubby though now. My concern though is Grubby is yet to have a robotics bay. He does have a single Colossus down. He's committing heavily to these Zealots and needs to make sure things are going well, but a warp in coming from Hero. Doing a bit of damage. There is, of course, the DT there. Very frustrating. More DTs coming through. Mass DTs on their way and no observer. This is a problem for Grubby because he's got no detection and he is therefore unable to stop 4 DTs from tearing through his natural base. What can be done? Zealot's getting warped in as well here now, but Grubby, he's moving forward. Hero with a great attack. Grubby, though, once again going for the flank, saying it worked last time. Can it work again? Unfortunately, the timing of that flank was a bit off. The natural base for Grubby goes down. Grubby has to win this now, or Hero will take the top of this group to advance forward. The Colossi taking some damage, but Grubby losing his army. GG is called, and Hero is going to take the series 2-1, takes the top spot in the group. Grubby does still advance, but in 2nd place, which will affect the seeding for group stage 3. Wow.